Okay. Which metrics are and are not acceptable when assessing the value of a user story? That's an interesting question, because what do we mean by that point? My first thought is things like the invest setup. Is the story independent, negotiable, valuable, estimatable, sizable, and testable? But outside of that, that's all I would answer. But what occurs to me next is when we're talking about value, we're likely talking about the value of the story to the user, to the product, to the organisation, and what are some good metrics for that. The truth is, anything, absolutely anything, could be a good measure if it's relevant to the organisation, to the product itself. Many people will talk about money, dollar value, pound value, euro value, whatever it is that they're operating, and how much more money will we make because this thing exists. And that's a good measure of value. Lots of the financial institutions I work with, that is the primary measure. But it's not the only measure. And it's interesting that even the banking world recognises there are different types of value. And we've got to remember, this is value to the product. Not everything is going to be about the money. It could be value to the organisation, getting more people onto the platform. So how do we increase the number of users? It could be customer satisfaction. Good old NPS is a really good way of measuring that. I worked with a bank where their mortgage arm wasn't doing well, and the CTO of that part of the bank said it doesn't matter what you do as long as you drive the employee and the customer satisfaction up. They were at minus 70 something, and they were only aiming for 0. Neither good nor bad. They wanted to be mediocre. That was a big step for them, and everything was driven by that idea of value. What will make this a better customer experience? What will make a better employee experience alongside that? So hopefully you can see value is going to be very context dependent. What you need to do to determine whether the things you're using are a good measure, a good yardstick for the value of user stories, is go back to the product vision, the product goal. Why does your product matter? What change are you looking to create in the world? And if you've got it at the product level, you also want to check back in at the organisational level, because things skip levels. That's okay. What are your business drivers? What is the strategic direction? What do you want to be able to measure as a business to know that you're going in the right way? And your user stories, your product backlog items, whatever you're doing, need to speak to those. How do they help you achieve those goals, be it product level goals or organisational goals? And once you've done that, it actually becomes really simple. Much of the work that I've done at executive level is helping them articulate, how do we know this organisation is going in the right direction? Not just share price, and share price is occasionally useful but not always, but actually, how will we know we're better? How will we know we're going in the right direction? What's the current hypotheses? And articulating those as half a dozen values. So you've got them at the company level, you've got them at the product level. Your user story, your backlog item needs to talk to those. We believe this will help us enable more data coming in to our product so that more people are interested in it, and it's going to help us turn the needle or move the needle on total users, which is valuable to the product in this growth phase. And later on, we think that by adding this feature, it's going to be more interesting to a wider market, opening up our total potential market, meaning we have more people paying, or maybe the people we've got paying more. That's the sort of thinking that we want with any user story, any product backlog item, and not only by the product owner. We want this by the stakeholders, the product owner, but the whole Scrum team, including the developers, thinking about, why does this matter? Because if people can't articulate why it matters, if they can't tell you the value to the product, to the customers, to the organisation, why are you doing it? If you've got to this point in the video, I hope you've enjoyed it. If so, a like would be appreciated. If you want to hear more from me, more answers to questions that maybe you've got in the Agile world, please subscribe to the channel. And if you've got a question that you really want answered, drop it in the comments. I promise we'll get around to it. Thank you.